Hello everyone, it's Madeline Eames here, and this is part 2 of what actually happened here. And if you haven't seen part 1, go back and watch the previous video, because I'm talking about the grand scheme of what the hell has happened here. Okay, so now we're going to bring all of that back down to a personal level. So each one of you were born out of a womb into this world. And when you were little, when you were a baby, you didn't have to think about what to ask for or not to ask for. When you were hungry, you cried. When you were tired, you probably cried, slept, as you could. When you were cold, you cried. So there was all this cry to have your needs met. And that is beautiful and wonderful, and the life of a baby. If you're in pain, you cry. You don't think about, well, should I ask for some help or not? Or no, you just are who you are. At a certain point, we start to develop a sense of self, of who we are in relation to other people. And so if your parent didn't really show up for you when you are a baby so much, you don't have thoughts yet of, wow, this house really sucks. I was born into this house and I'm not getting enough food or whatever it might be. No, you're just in the response. As you grow older, you develop a sense of self. And often that also comes when you're in school. And you start to get a sense of how you behave around other people, and that you can be very vulnerable to what other people call you or other people's opinions of you. Like, oh, she's smart. He's not so smart. She's the outgoing one. She's the quiet one. So these labels start to be impressed on us. Now, at a certain point of our individuation as a unique human being, we end up running into a conflict because we're still reliant on our caregivers from a very young age, and we know intuitively that's where our love, our security, our safety, and our attachment is. That's all we know. And so we're picking up all these cues from the environment. And at a certain point, we have this conflict between staying attached and being who you are. So authenticity. Gabor Mate talks about this a lot. So we learn that in order for me to have approval, which feels like love, in order for me to be safe here and perhaps not be criticized, or in order for me not to be hit, this is what I have to do. So it develops a second self, a false self, a social self, on top of your essential nature. And these patterns are often given by our cultures, such as, oh, he's a tough boy, don't be a wimp, this kind of thing, and at school, and the toxic masculinity. And for women, it's often, oh, look how pretty she is. Oh, look how beautiful she dances. What a nice girl. What a good girl. You got it? Think you're seeing where this is going. That becomes your persona. And that becomes this cage that I shouldn't say that quite yet, because that's what's needed at that time. And you can bless your ability to shapeshift like that because you knew what the situation warranted. I need to look after parents. I need to be successful. I need to show up. I need to, have good manners, whatever it might be. Those are not bad things when the situation warrants it. But as you get older, if you're not able to shed that skin, it's like a coat that gets tighter and tighter and tighter. And it starts to show up in your relationships, in your work, or in your body mostly. A sense of dread, anxiety, worry, and most particularly worry about what other people think, and worrying about measuring up, and often accompanied by a feeling of not good enough. Well, I wouldn't say you're always good enough, but you might not be who you truly are, because we start to believe that these patterns are who we are. That's all subconscious. It's all in our subconscious. And so this conflict between staying authentic and staying attached. Now, as you get older, particularly after you've done maybe child rearing, or you've worked through a lot of your career stuff, you come to a place where you really start questioning these things, and you question the tightness that you feel. You can feel the uneasiness. All of those unfelt, unseen parts and emotions are held right in your womb space. And this is true for men as well. And we've probably been acting from our minds and our hearts, as in the previous video. So this is where we can start to shed some of our conditioning. And with a lot of faith, a lot of courage, and a lot of practice, move back into who we truly are. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful unfolding as we let go and we realize that we are still held, not by our parents, not even by our friends. And you don't even want to rely on a partner for this, because they're not always around or reliable or whatever. You are held by yourself, and you're held by the great Mother Nature. And when you can really rest and surrender into that and know that now you'll be okay, you can always pick up your patterns when you need to. They'll always be there, guarding. Your true life can unfold from the inside out. So I hope this has explained some things for you, and that it's helpful. And of course, I use transformational womb breath work to get down there, to start relieving things, to start releasing. And then the patterns, external patterns, start to shift and change in yourself, and remarkably in the people around you. Take care, everyone. Like this video if you liked it. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.